Appreciate you guys watching. Today we're going to be pruning our muscadine vines here in zone 8A. You usually want to do that in mid to late February if at all possible, but just kind of be on the lookout. You just don't want a really hard frost. A lot of times we do get those in late February or early March. It's not necessarily going to hurt anything, but you know, you don't want to do it super early. There is some research that's been done out there in regards to not pruning in early winter or late fall, and because of production in the future. Again, kind of do it at what time you do have available, but I think if you've got a schedule you're trying to stick to, probably February is your best time slot, possibly early March. So follow along. We'll try and give you all some details in regards to exactly how we prune our muscadines. Dean Family Acres. The thing about this vine we thought was going to be Carlos. It was actually, we think it's a Cowart. So we planted Cowart there and Carlos here, but then that one down there looks a whole lot like a Carlos. So we're thinking this is a Cowart. We will see this year, as we mentioned. But basically, this vine was not nearly as vigorous. It has never been that way. We had some issues with some things eating them down the first year that we planted. And this one on this other side here has always been more vigorous, but this one has grown well, especially in the short distance that we have these first vines that we planted on. So I'm going to get you guys a little bit closer as we kind of talk through exactly where and how you want to prune your muscadine vines. A lot of people think I didn't prune them enough. Other people think, good grief, you completely killed that whole vine. I can honestly tell you, in general, you probably want to prune them a little more than you think you need to, because your grapes do grow on new growth. Alright, so here's our main cordon coming here, and you can see each of these vines coming off. And basically you do want to try and when you're initially pruning, if this is your second year, I guess, because first year it's probably going to come up and go all the way down the line. If this is your second year, you want to try and make sure that you have about a hand's width spacing between each one of these. You know, if you don't have a distance here, then that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it being that technical. But you want to make sure that basically you have that kind of spacing. And also, for a lot of places, they say you don't want them coming off the bottom. So you don't want them coming straight down here. I know Shane from Kinfolk Farm really doesn't worry about that and doesn't care. Again, he's also pruning like 200 vines, so or more. So just kind of think about that. All right, guys. So we're going to take these vines here, and you want to traditionally count 3 to 5 buds. There's also a measurement, I think 4 to 6 inches up. I will say, at least on this one here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that short amount of span. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's really the length of my finger. I mean, it's not very large. I know some people prune back to 2. Since this one has not fruited and only fruits on new wood, I think with this one I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to let it go to the 5th one there, and we'll just prune it off. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two, 3, 4, 5. And then you'll notice on this vine, there is really nothing all the way down. There's one little stub there, and of course it's pointing down. And then we kind of just trained this to loop down and around for a couple different reasons. Number one, if we like this one, we can actually air layer this, put it down into a pot, and then cut it off. But also just maximizing our space. I wanted to leave enough between this post and the muscadine tree here. You might have seen our first trellis video that we built when we put this in. I'll link that right up above here, so you can kind of see exactly how we made this first trellis, and you know, the ways we've improved, because we've got several different trellises now. But this was just kind of using some 4x4 posts we had that we recycled, the right size wire. They were one request, which is 9 gauge, and then the Grapples in regards to holding that wire, and then T-posts. So there's a link down below of all these things in regards to you being able to go purchase those. If you want to order off Amazon, we do have an affiliate link down below, and we would appreciate you guys supporting us if you're comfortable doing that. Yeah, and some people just come in here and do it in, like you'll notice these are spaced out a whole lot more. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna go 3 on that one. All right, then what do you do here? So this one comes and makes a pretty big fork. You got 1, 2 maybe. So I think what we're gonna do here is just we'll prune here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll prune there. Okay, and it's already flowing a little bit of water. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of waiting this late. Sometimes they do like to weep. 2, 3, 4. But it's okay. You're not hurting the plant. Alright guys, so hopefully you were able to see us prune this vine that we think is a Cowart. We'll see if it produces this year. And I might have left some of these a little bit long, but I think they'll be fine, especially since this is not produced. I want to make sure that it has as much opportunity to be able to fruit out as possible. You can always prune more, but I think that this is a optimal amount, at least, especially for this vine, without it having any fruiting the last couple years. Alright guys, so whenever you come to that muscadine vine again, just remember your hand spacing. I personally like for them to kind of have a little bit of an even direction going right and left. It doesn't always work that way. But if you have a debate in regards to which one you're going to prune, and you've got one going the same way as it's been going, then you know you kind of feel more comfortable about pruning it off versus not. So we'll just dive in here and get a couple of these pruned out. Again, been counting out about 3 to 5 buds. Hey guys, so we are out here while our latest video is going live, multitasking and get some of these blueberries. It's a blueberry video. We're going to try and do some multitasking and get these muscadines pruned up because it is definitely time. It's the end of February and we want to make sure and get them cleaned up. So let's follow along as we get this process started.